I still want to read this book. So I felt very happy because even though they are from Christian community, they didn't rejected to take Bhagavad Gita. They want to know something from Bhagavad Gita. But unfortunately, he didn't have any change to donate, but still he took the book. Later on in our area in Hainault, I met one Mataji. She is from Patel community. She's a member in this Swaminarayana temple, and she knows something about Krishna, but still she don't want to take Bhagavad Gita when I met her. And she was asking, is Prabhupada is your uncle? That's why you are selling all these books. Then I told, no, Mataji, Prabhupada is not my uncle. I'm glad if he was my uncle, I will be so blessed. Then I told, no, Mataji, he's a very great person. And I narrated small story about Prabhupada, how he came to these Western countries, how he has started this ISKCON, how he created this ISKCON foundation, everything. And she was in a shock. Oh, it's really, if you listen to a true person, like if you listen to a person, how fortunate we are. And definitely I know Bhagavad Gita. She told, I'm having Bhagavad Gita at home. Then I explained her, this is Bhagavad Gita as it is. So there was no some people, they will manipulate the information, but this is Bhagavad Gita as it is. So you can get even examples so that you can understand easily by reading the purport. So she accepted to take Bhagavad Gita, and also she took the higher taste and happy journey to higher planets as well. So later on, I met another person. She was a very old lady. She knows something about self-realization, but she wants to know more. She's around 80 years old, but she don't know how come she knows what happens after death. And she was in search of those books. Then I met her. Then I explained little bit about the self-realization, and I told her there's a Soho temple in Soho Street, please. And I showed the way as well to her. Then she promised me that she's going to visit Soho temple and listen to Kirtan. These are my realizations, what I felt. And we are very happy to do book distribution. We thought it went very quickly actually this month. Because of cold weather, we can't do every day, but still we want to do more along with kids. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Mataji. Thank you. And we are so blessed to be in the ISKCON community. Thank you so much, Vivek Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks, Mataji, for such a nice realization, and it's live realization that whatever you can't get it without experience of book distribution. One lucky devotee you got who was too much eager to read the book, but they don't have Lakshmi. It's a nice realization. So next, I will call out Srikhar from Dwarka Dham. Do you have Srikhar?
I'm here, Prabhu.
Okay, so Srikhar is yes, Srikhar. Let me add the spotlight to you, and yes, we can see you.
So, Hare Krishna. My name is Shrika, and I'm 11 years old. And the reason why I like book distribution is because it's very fun and interesting and fabulous. So, in the last 6 days, I've experienced like different people. And some people are very interested and eager and very happy. Some people are not that interested, but I try to engage them into Krishna conscious by adding different types of famous quotes and famous people, such as Albert Einstein and Mahatma Gandhi, to like make them feel better and give the donation to a charity. So I like being in ISKCON And also, I like doing book distribution because I could engage with them and talk to them, and I could advise them in reading books. So I experienced this one person, and she wanted to give the money to the higher taste, but she didn't have any money, and she was very interested. So then she went to the bank and lended some of her own money to give it to the Food for Life and to give it to the charity for thousands of people and thousands of millions of people. So this is why I like book distribution. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hi, Haribol.
Wonderful, Srikar. So you gave your Lakshmi to others to get the books. That's amazing donation you did. So you helped others to read these books. Thank you. So next we have Mathura Dham. So for Mathura Dham, we will request Nitai Pran Prabhu to come and say a few words on realization.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam. Dhanvat Pranam to all the devotees who are available here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my experience during this December Marathon month, a very special month which is very dear to Srila Prabhupada. This year, the month was full of many wonderful events, and we had a very wonderful experience. So when this started, when we started the marathon drive, so me and Taruni, we were not sure how the response is going to be this year. With financial condition across the world are so glim, it was evident that the response is not going to be the same as it was last so many years. And our first attempt made our fear came true. Our first two attempts on the street distribution were quite dull. And with very little response, this combined with the snow and extreme cold weather, that even the footfall on the street was quite low. So as a result, we hardly managed to distribute few books, and even the collection was not great. So then we decided now it's a high time to go back to the drawing board and revisit the strategy. So we decided that instead of waiting for the people at the street, we should start knocking the doors. And then taking the blessing of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, we started door-to-door drive. And to our surprise, the response was quite positive, as if the people were waiting for us to knock their door. So on the very first day of our door-to-door drive, we managed to distribute close to 20 sets and few Bhagavad Gitas. And however, the highlight was the second day of a door-to-door knock. So this day we encountered many families of different faith. Some were Jews, Christian, Muslims. Interestingly, they all were very, very receptive. Some of them were quite inquisitive to know that where our temple is. And they were all interested to knowing more about the temples, what all activities we do in the temples. They even take the address of the temple. They even question that what are the worship times that you have in the temple, when can we visit the temples. And they all took the book and they give the good donation as well. So that was something which even encourages us as well. So after the 2 days of good response, we were a little pumped up. And that's where the Krishna realized us that it's very important to be humble and down to earth when doing any of the services. On third day, the response was not at all good. Very few people opened the door. And out of those very few who opened the door, there were very few who took the book. So that's when we realized that something is again going wrong. With intense prayer, we started our day 4 of door-to-door book distribution. So in the first hour, we got the mixed response. Even though the books went, but the Lakshmi that we collected was not that great. So now there is just left. We were just left with one more hour to complete And that was the last day of the book distribution. That was the last day of the marathon. So we were intensely playing that what is now going to happen. And that's when Krishna, who basically gave us the intelligence to use our last lifeline. So there is one of our friend whom we used to do the Damodar each year, but for some reason this year we somehow missed to do the Damodar at their place. So I thought let's go and make a last attempt to call him and see if they've been interested to give some, or they've been interested to take some books or the donation. So we went to his place, and after looking us, when he saw us, so to his surprise, he said that I was actually expected to go to my relative's place few hours back for the Christmas, but my travel got delayed, and as if that I was expected to meet you guys. So that's when we went to his place, and he was so welcoming. He has never gave us any Lakshmi earlier in any of the marathon, but this year he took the book and got a handsome amount of Lakshmi as well. And that was something which I was not expecting. But I think it's Krishna and Srila Prabhupada who has empowered him and gave him intelligence to take the books, and even gave the good amount of Lakshmi. So whatever we were short of on that day, that great devotee has actually fulfilled all that. So this year has been full of such great experiences. So been so grateful to all the Vaishnavas who've been present here, who has blessed us, and because of them we were able to distribute and fulfill our sankalp. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nitai Prabhu, for such a wonderful experience, and they are really wonderful experience. It can't be planned. It is everything unexpected, and the mercy of only Prabhupada and Jagannath, it happens. So thank you, Prabhuji. Next, I will request Purvi to share her realization for 2 minutes, what she did in this month. And Hare Krishna, Purvi.
Hare Krishna. My name is Purvi, and I'm 8 years old. And I would like I like book distribution because it's just like we're benefiting other people's lives. For example, if someone had like some like if they were like they were really unhappy about some reasons, so then they maybe if they read that, they can calm their mind. And the book Chant and Be Happy it's a nice book which can keep people's minds very calm and relaxed. And one else thing I really liked is that it was like help, like really, it was like really helping the other people's life. And when they were giving the donation, and some people were just giving it really with their hearts, and we could actually see like how like lovingly they were giving it. So I really think these books are very powerful books, especially Perfect Question, Perfect Answers, Beyond Birth and Death, and also Easy Journey to Other Planets. So that's also one thing I liked it. And it's just like spreading all the nectar around everywhere about Lord Krishna. Even if they're not this religion, like they can still read them to really help them. So it's very nice of them. So also one thing, it's like also we can help them by like how we're giving them to hospitals and prison houses. It might be helping their mind keep calm and other things. And even if they read 2-3 pages every day, it will be a benefit for them. So Hare Krishna.
Wow. Amazing, Purvi. Very nice. Wonderful.
Mataji.
Wonderful, wonderful. Keep it up. You're a star.
Thank you, Purvi, for your realization in saying the importance of the books, how they can change the life of other people. So now we are moving to Jagannath Dham. So I will request Kusuma Mataji to share her realization, because she was too much kind of warrior in this Prabhupada marathon throughout the month. And I don't see any other such devotee who goes daily, day and night for doing this. Hare Krishna Mataji. Kusuma Mataji, are you there? We are not able to.
Hare Krishna, Namo Vishnu Devaya Krishna Prasthaya Pitale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Sarvamati Prasthaya. You can hear me, Prabhu?
We can hear you, but it's a kind of not good network, I think.
I lost connection. You can hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, now it's okay, Mataji.
So we had a really wonderful time, and I'm really happy that Prabhupada, although we are insignificant, we have hardly any knowledge or anything, that he's actually using us in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we had a nice time in Ilford. Actually, I was just finishing off, and you said to me, wait, don't go, Khichdi is coming, So I said, okay, I'll just go to the bathroom and come back. So when I went to the mall to use the bathroom, on the way back, I met a very nice lady, a Gujarati lady, and she said, oh, I've been looking for Bhagavad Gita, have you got one in Gujarati? So I brought her back to the table outside, and she took Bhagavad Gita in Gujarati, and she took Second Chance and one another book. And since then, I have been to her home, and I've taken the chanting beads and introduced her to the Mahamantra. And like that, and so another day I went to shop, and although we have covered the same shops, and they recognize us now, because from time to time we also take prasadam to them. And the shopkeeper says, no, I don't want the books. I've got so many books and I don't want any. And so she said, so we said, okay, we'll go away. And then the man, there was a customer there, and he said, no, I will have the books, he said. And he said, oh, I got married in a manner, like that. And he gave us a nice donation. And then the shopkeeper felt obliged, so he gave us 10 pounds as well. So like that, there have been so many occasions. On just the day before, I think Saturday, we went to a block of flats in Barking, and we met a really nice lady. She's an optician, eye specialist doctor. And she took the Bhagavad Gita, and she's already started to read Bhagavad Gita, and she's coming tomorrow to Avanti school. And like that, I've got quite at least 4 or 5 people coming to Avanti school. Then I met one person who donates Bhagavad Gita, box of Bhagavad Gita every year. He brought one person to the Gita Yagna. He's a black person, and he got so interested. We were standing in the prasadam queue, and I talked to him for a long time. And he's also hoping to come tomorrow. So like this, there are so many people looking for, a way out of this material world. And we just need to be instruments in Srila Prabhupada's mission. And really, as Prabhupada says, this is the greatest welfare work we can be doing. And it's like actually a life-saving work we are doing. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to share my realization. And also, I pray that I will be able to continue doing this service for many years to come. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Kusuma Mataji, for such a nice realization. And we all are getting inspired by your dedication and service mode of spreading the Srila Prabhupada books across at least your local area and across UK, wherever you get time and energy, you go and do it, and we are getting the same inspiration to us as well. Thank you, Mataji. Next, we have Vaishnavi, Ramesh Prabhu's daughter. She wants to share her realization for 2 minutes. Hare Krishna, Vaishnavi. So Vaishnavi is online. Let me spotlight her.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna. My name is Vaishnavi, and thank you for letting me this opportunity to share my experience. So the other day, I went with my dad to distribute books for a few lanes, and at first I was feeling a little bit hesitant because the first 2 houses rejected the books, and it kind of went on for maybe 2 or 3 more houses. But then as we reached a few more houses, 5 in a row, we were able to distribute books. And I felt shocked that people accepted the books and were willing to pay a really nice amount for it. And I felt glad that I was potentially to be a part of someone's journey to acquire knowledge about the Supreme Personality. And as we kept going along the houses, I learned more about the books, and I made sure that I, tried to convince the people more better because I had more knowledge about it. And Srila Prabhupada says that you can only talk to someone when you have great knowledge and make sure that they acquire good knowledge as well. So when I got home, I wanted to make sure that I understood exactly what I have given to other people. So I read Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. And when I inquired what this book was about, I realized it addressed some of the most important questions that people should try to find the answers to in life. And Srila Prabhupada answers them in a very simple way that everyone can understand. And I felt that what I was doing to help other people was amazing because it's very hard to find an opportunity where people can acquire knowledge about the Supreme Personality. So this is, I think, a really great way, book distribution, to help many people. So I felt really glad that I was able to do this and be a part of someone's journey. As I read some more of the books, like Chant and Be Happy, it was a very popular book. I realized that these books really hide some of the most important things that we should know, daily things like chanting, which really does resolve to happiness. And even if someone may be from another religion, this is not very subjective. I think it talks about general topics like mental health, and you can get better in this. And this is normally what we state to people when we first introduce them to these books. But as they keep progressing in their journey, I think they will start to understand about the Supreme Personality and everything, like a journey to other planets and everything in their spiritual realms and those things. And I think it's very helpful for us and them, because people say that you should, in your spiritual journey, you should try to help others as well. So that's a really great opportunity that I got to experience. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Vaishnavi, for sharing your realization. And yeah, it's inspiration for all the kids and your age group who are even in this cold winter. Everyone is going out and did a lot of distribution, even thinking whether Krishna will send the correct people or not. They will select or reject our books. But still, you tried your best till so many times, and finally you got success. So that's a great thing. So thanks, Vaishnavi, again.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So before I go to see, do we have any Chakradham devotee here who can share realization? Because I couldn't get the name earlier. So if any Ek Chakra Dham devotee would like to share their realization, please speak. Otherwise, we will go ahead with the next agenda of this event. Don't see anyone there. Hare Krishna, Yamneshwari Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And it was so wonderful to hear the realization of all the devotees, starting from Sushila Mataji and Shrikar and Nitai Pran Prabhu, Purvi and Kusuma Mataji and Vaishnavi. Brilliantly said from the heart. All the devotees shared, their how it was, when they went out. Beautiful realizations, and I was so touched to hear the realizations of the kids. So today we heard from Shikhar, Purvi and Vaishnavi, and many kids went out. Just imagine the realizations what these kids have in this age. They are so blessed because in this age they are getting the opportunity to know about Srila Prabhupada books. And not only that, they are trying to know and learning, but they are also trying to give this and to help the society. That is something phenomenal and very, very pleasing to the Lord. So brilliant service and effort by all the Vaishnavas. Very, very pleasing. So thank you so much. And, we will, because tomorrow is a very special day, because tomorrow is the anniversary celebration of Shri Jagannath Baladri Subhadra Maharani. And Panchatattva Gaur Nitai, we are going to celebrate tomorrow at Avanti School. And it's a very, very special day for all of us because Lord Jagannath has come, for all of us, for all our benefit. So it is a very important day where everyone, doesn't matter whether new, old, young, everyone can come. In fact, I would request everyone in this forum to spread around the word to all the Bhakti Vriksha devotees, outreach devotees, Gita Gyan devotees, all the kids, teens, programs, everyone to come and attend this event and take Lord Jagannath's blessings, to hear about Lord Jagannath and get his blessings. The new year is only, around the corner. So it's wonderful that before that we come and thank the Lord first for all that he has given and giving. And also, if any service possible, we can do. And of course, seek his blessings and protection, for the upcoming years and especially for the next new year, 2023. So before we, this is also an invite again for all the devotees here to, please come and get the blessings of Lord Jagannath. And, when we talk about Lord Jagannath, we can say a lot because the mercy of Lord Jagannath is unlimited. And scriptures say that how much reciprocation Lord Jagannath has done with all his, very wonderful devotees. There are a lot of books talking about his glories. So I was just thinking I will just share one pastime, which is so wonderful. Before that, Lord Jagannath anniversary we are celebrating tomorrow. And Jagannath came here to East London community in the year 2011. So now it is 2022. So it is 11 years now. So it's very, very special mercy. Lord Jagannath came and many devotees have their own realizations, how they offered prayers and how the Lord is reciprocated and how the Lord is protecting all of us, So I think many, many devotees have a lot of realizations. So some of the realizations devotees will be sharing tomorrow. So we can hear from them as well. But those who could not, share in public, you can always come and stand in front of Lord Jagannath and you can heartfelt, you can offer to him. So that is also very wonderful. Just like on birthday of any devotee, what we do, we glorify and appreciate the devotee, right? Similarly, the Supreme Lord, his appearance day is so special. He's appearing for our own benefit. He doesn't have to. He's not obliged to come. But he's coming down to shower his mercy, to shower his blessings. That is his kindness. That is his costless nature, costless mercy. So we have to acknowledge that and be very grateful for all that he's giving us, and how much forgiving he is, you know, and how much he's always keeping an eye, you know, and protecting and uplifting us, always seeking, always seeing, you know, that we are actually growing forward in our life, eagerly awaiting that when we will reawaken our love for him. So it's so wonderful. So there was one beautiful story mentioned by His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj in his book. Some of you might have read this, or even otherwise also we can keep hearing that. It's a very beautiful pastime of Raghu Arakshita. So it was a story, a very long story, but we will try our best to, you know, put it short, but to can understand how Lord Jagannath is Bhakta Vatsala, how he is very dear to his devotees. When someone is from his heart, you know, taking shelter of him, how the Lord protects that person. So that's what we see in this pastime, that there was one person by name Raghu, a devotee, and his parents were very, very rich and very charitable. So he was, and Raghu was especially very much a devotee of Lord Jagannath. So what happened was his parents, when he was very young, that time itself, he was very charitable by nature, very devoted to Lord Jagannath. His parents were also very, very pious. At some point of time, when he was around, 16 and about, nearly 16, his parents arranged the marriage, marriage with another person, another girl who was of very, very pious nature. So then what happened, time went by, and at some point of time, what happened was Raghu, being very generous and charitable, he was giving a lot of charity. At some point of time, he became, all his wealth got exhausted. And then he was literally became poor. So that time, he was thinking that, what am I going to do? His parents were also no more. And he was thinking, now I have nobody else. So I have become like a orphan. Arakshita means protected. And Arakshita means someone who is not protected. Now I'm not protected because nobody is there to protect me. But my dear Lord, you are my only shelter. So let me go to Jagannath Puri and take shelter of Lord Jagannath. So Raghu decided to leave that place, and then he went to Jagannath Puri, and he came in front of Lord Jagannath and he prayed to Jagannath, my dear Lord, now I have only you as my only refuge. You do whatever you want with me. I am taking your shelter. I'm taking shelter at your lotus feet. So then what happened? He was going around begging and leading his life. So it was going on for some time, and then in the meantime, the father-in-law and the father-in-law and mother-in-law, the in-laws, they came to know that Raghu has left, and what is the point? My daughter has got such a husband. It is better that we find another boy and get our daughter married to that another boy. Her name was Annapurna. Very, very chaste and very auspicious quality she had. So then what happened when she came to know that her parents were arranging for another marriage, she became very disturbed because she was very, very devoted to her husband. So then she was praying to Lord Jagannath, my dear Lord, please, somehow arrange a meeting, with my husband. I don't want to marry anyone else. I want to actually, devote my life to my husband. So when they were kind of discussing, then what happened was when she was praying to the Lord like that, then she thought, okay, let me send a letter to my husband, through someone who is going to Jagannath Puri. So those days we all know that, the letter takes a very long time, isn't it? So she wrote a letter and she mentioned the point, a note, that, when you see this message, I expect you to come within 10 days time. I expect you to come within 10 days time. If you don't come, then I will commit suicide, and then you will become the cause for the killing of women. So then what happened? This messenger, or the person who went to Jagannath Puri, he took this letter. The letter was sealed, so no one can read it. And she said that, my husband would be somewhere, begging and, living life, in Jagannath Puri. That's all the description she gave. And when this person went from this village, to Jagannath Puri, he took darshan of Jagannath and he was looking around. He could not find anyone. But then later at some point, he saw somebody was standing near the lion gate, the Simha Dwara gate of Lord Jagannath temple. And he could understand that was Annapurna's husband. And he gave the letter to that person, to Raghu. But unfortunately, when Raghu opened the letter, already it was few days gone. So he was just thinking, if I have to go back to the village, to see Annapurna, by the time it will be more than 10 days. And my wife already, would have, she may commit suicide. So how do I stop that? So she went and prayed to Lord Jagannath, my dear Lord, you are my only protector. What will I be doing at this point of time? Because if I go, it is not of no use. But at the same time, she's just a chaste and very devoted woman, wife. And I don't want to be the cause of her death. My dear Lord, I'm just depending on you. And then he was praying and he slept off like that. And then what happened was Lord Jagannath created a very huge form, like a Vetal, big form. And this big form carried Raghu on his shoulder, and then put Raghu on his father-in-law's place. When he opened next day his eyes, he was completely surprised, because he was actually standing and praying in front of the Simhadwara gate. And how come he ended up, coming to his village? And then he could understand this only by the mercy of Lord Jagannath, that he has come to that place. So he was thanking for the Lord, thanking very deeply. He was thanking, my dear Lord, you have actually saved me. But in the meantime, what happened? The people in the house, the father-in-law and brother-in-law, all of them, when they came out, when they saw Raghu, they were so surprised, because he was like not having a clean cloth and torn and this, and they were thinking, oh, we were planning to marry our daughter to another person, and here comes Raghu. What can we do now? So they were thinking like that. But then they thought, first let us take this person inside. So they brought him inside and made him take a shower and put new clothes and all that. And then they thought, we will now give him a poison. So they gave a cake cooked, with a poison, so that, he will be dead, and then they can carry on with the plan, what they plotted already. So then what happened, when Annapurna, being a chaste woman, she could understand, the plan of their family members, and she was shocked. So what she did was, she made a note, and somehow she inserted that little note in one of the cakes which was offered to Raghu. And when Raghu, whatever he offers, whatever he eats, he normally offers to Lord Jagannath, and then only he eats. So when this poison cake was served, to him, immediately he remembered Lord Jagannath, and he offered mentally, my dear Lord, I'm offering it to you. He didn't even know what was there inside. But that is his nature, that anything he eats, he offers to the Lord. So then he offered, when he took the first bite, he could get that note, which his wife put. So when he opened that note, he could understand there was a poison, but it was too late, because already he has eaten it. Almost he has eaten it, but then he was thinking, it's already offered to Lord Jagannath. How can I actually throw this, cake? Because this has become prasadam. This has been eaten by my Lord. How can I actually throw that? Even if I die, I don't care, but I cannot, spit, or I cannot, throw Lord Jagannath's prasadam. That was a conviction he had, on Lord Jagannath and his prasadam. So he just ate it. Then few moments later, what happened? The poison had an effect, and then he fell down. So when he fell down, all the family members, the brother-in-law, I mean, the father-in-law and all of them, they became very happy because, their plan got succeeded. So they thought that, before sunrise, the father-in-law was telling to his sons, before sunrise tomorrow, we have to burn this person, burn his body so that no one would know. And if anyone asks, we will tell them that he has died. He died out of snake bite. So they made all this plan. And when Annapurna saw his husband fell down, and then he was like, not breathing, and he was almost dead, then she was like, what is the point of living? So she prayed to Lord Jagannath, I will also enter into the fire and give up my life. There is no point living. So she was praying to the Lord and, ready to, jump into the fire. The next day, when they are doing, when they are going to burn Raghu's body. So all of a sudden, then what happened was, Lord Jagannath came and, touched Raghu. And when the Lord's divine hand touched Raghu, immediately he opened his eyes. And then he was very, he could understand that he was dead and he has come back alive by the mercy of the Lord. And then immediately the Lord disappeared. So he was feeling that, how the Lord is so merciful. By his causeless mercy, he has brought me back into life. And then the next day, as they planned, before sunrise, they wanted to kill, right? So when they came, the family members, when they saw Raghu, they thought, they're going to burn his body. And then when he saw that he was sitting and chanting the name of the Lord, they were completely surprised. And then they felt, oh my God, we made all these plans. And even we fed a poison cake, but then he's still not dead. This shows that he's not just an ordinary person. He must be a very great devotee, and we have committed a great sin. So they fell at the feet of Raghu, and then they were asking forgiveness. And then they said that, we are ready to give our daughter. You can, take her with you. So Raghu said that, because I have become poor, you have decided, to marry your daughter to someone else. But I request you, please give back my wife if you so desire. Otherwise, I am just leaving this place. So then Annapurna said that, I really want to, you are my husband. I just want to follow you wherever you go, And then Annapurna started, and then the family members also allowed. But then later the father-in-law, he told the other boy, whom they planned to marry to Annapurna, he told that boy's father that, now the husband has come back. We can't do anything, So now he came and he took his wife. We can't do much anything. We tried our best, but, we couldn't do anything. So then immediately that boy, what did he do was he got this thing that he collected so many people like gundas, and then they were following Raghu and his wife. And so many people, he had a lot of people with, the powerful weapons. So when Raghu saw and Annapurna saw that, so many people are following them, then Annapurna said to her husband that, these people, looks like, they're going to kill you, and then they are going to, take me away. So what shall we do now? And then Raghu said, why we should fear when Lord Jagannath is there? When Lord Jagannath is there, we do not have to fear, because he only brought us together. He only brought us, to all these challenges. He brought me back to life. Why we should fear? So let's take shelter of Lord Jagannath. So when he was praying to Jagannath, then what happened was there were two soldiers. They came in horses, and they were inquiring about Raghu and Annapurna, what's happening. We could see that a lot of people are coming to, following you, and what is the reason? And then he told all the story, and then they said that, do not worry, we are here to help you, just follow us. So they were guarding, these two soldiers were taking them both and kept them in a very safe place. And in the meantime, it is actually Lord Jagannath and Balaram came, and then they created an illusion that there were so many Vishnu forms. So when this other party, they were coming, to kill Raghu, when they suddenly saw everywhere they turned, they could only see Lord Vishnu and, it was like kind of created an illusion, and they were kind of, oh my God, it's very scary. And then they just returned back. And in that way, they were very peacefully, they could cross over this challenge. And finally, they arrived at Jagannath Puri. So when they arrived at Jagannath Puri, they went and took darshan of Lord Jagannath. They thanked Lord Jagannath. They prayed to Lord Jagannath. And then they made a house quite close to the Lord Jagannath temple, so that they could come every day and take darshan and serve the Lord. So when and Raghu would go for begging, and then whatever he would bring, his wife will cook, and then they will, serve Jagannath, in the sense like any Vaishnavas who come, any people come, even though they led a very, very simple life, yet everyone would come to Raghu's house, and Annapurna will feed them so wonderfully and with so much of love. So he became very famous. They both became very famous that even though they were very poor, but they were doing wonderful Vaishnava Seva, and their wonderful mood of serving Lord Jagannath. So in that way, they became very famous. In the meantime, what happened was, one time a group of sadhus came, and they were asking where they can get some place, prasadam, and everyone was directing them to go to Raghu's house. So when they arrived at Raghu's house, unfortunately, what happened was, that particular time, he didn't have anything, there was no money, nothing. So he was wondering how I will be the sadhus. So he asked his wife, what shall we do now? And the wife said, probably, maybe I have some ornaments which we can sell. And then whatever we get out of the money, maybe we will get some, rice and things like that, ingredients, and I will cook. So Raghu said, everyone knows that I, live by begging. If I go and give this ornaments, they will doubt. So you go and give. So when Annapurna went to one of the merchants, and she was trying to sell those ornaments, and he was ready to, he gave money, but he was a very bad person, having a very bad feeling towards Annapurna, a very lusty person. And then he said, you do not have to sell any ornaments or anything. You just come, and just to fulfill my desire, and then I will give you whatever you want. So Annapurna left that place, and she ran and, told her husband all these things. And then the husband said that, what to do, I understand, but we have to somehow serve the sadhus, because the sadhus have come to our house. We can't just send them, like that. It is a duty, for us to serve them. So you tell okay, and then you get the ingredients and come. So Annapurna went, just followed her husband's instructions. So she went, and the merchant became very happy, and he gave a lot of foodstuffs. And then she said that, okay, I will serve the sadhus, and I will come in the night. So Annapurna prepared a very wonderful feast, and very lovingly, sincerely, she and her husband served all the sadhus who came to, take darshan of Lord Jagannath. And they were so pleased with both of their service, and they showered their blessings and mercy, and then they left the place. Now it is the time for Annapurna to go back to that merchant. And so she was praying to Lord Jagannath, my dear Lord, you protected Draupadi. You protected people when they are in danger. My dear Lord, this is a question of my chastity. Oh, I pray to you, I'm taking shelter to your lotus feet. You please protect me. So she was praying, and then, her husband said, okay, now it's time for you to go. So you go, so when Annapurna went, and she was sitting over, waiting there, this merchant came, and he became so happy that, Annapurna is, very nicely dressed up, and she was sitting there. And then all of a sudden, when he came close by, he was so surprised that, what he saw was, he saw Vishnu, and then he saw on the lap of Vishnu, Annapurna is there. And then he became very thing, and then he felt, oh my God, what a great personality she is, what a great devotee she is. And what did I think? He had a change of heart. And then he fell at the feet, and she was telling, oh, you are my mother. How come, I can have such a desire or lusty feeling towards a mother, so, please, forgive me. And so he fell at the feet of Annapurna. And Annapurna said, oh, what you're doing? And then the husband was also, by the time, he came there, and then he was saying, he fell at the feet of the husband and both of them that I came with such a bad motive. But I understand it was a big mistake, and please forgive me and bless me. And then this merchant gave a very big sum of sum to this couple, both the husband and wife, that they can lifelong, don't have to, go big or do anything, and can lead a very happy life. So he gave a big amount, and then with that amount, they very nicely served Lord Jagannath and served the Vaishnavas and led a very, very devoted life. In that way, they could see that Lord Jagannath was protecting them all throughout their lives. And they also served the Lord with all love and devotion. So we see that this is one of the stories mentioned in the Bible, Purushottam Maharaj, Raghu Arakshita. So how, as the Lord says, Ye yatamam prapatyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, as you surrender, I reward accordingly. Based on our faith, whatever faith we have and how much we take shelter, accordingly the Lord reciprocates. If our faith is so deep and then we surrender completely, then he completely protects. And as per the faith, a person's faith, the Lord also reciprocates. So this pastimes, that's the reason that we need to read the scriptures and hear and read more and more about the pastimes of the Lord, His merciful nature, because by constantly hearing and what happens is that our faith also becomes very strong. Because in this material world, many things happens around us, and it actually, makes our faith very thin. Even if we have a little faith, something comes and shakes us, and then our faith gets, weak. So that's the reason it's so important being in association and constantly hearing about the Lord's name, form, qualities, pastimes that can strengthen our faith. When our faith becomes strong, then we can take shelter, at the lotus feet of the Lord. When the faith is very thin, how can we even, take shelter of someone, when we think that someone cannot protect us, or when we have a doubt about someone, it's very difficult to have, to take shelter. Only when we know someone will really help us or protect us, then it's possible for us to take shelter. So in order to gain that conviction and faith, it is important for us to have the association of those who have faith, and also to read and hear constantly about the Lord, His loving nature, His merciful nature. Then we see that our faith also grows. So, and we see that the Lord also reciprocates. That is His merciful nature. So we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the various Puranas, lots and lots of pastimes are given. As we all know that because of the karma, of what we have done in our lives, previous lives, one is destined to suffer the happiness and distress. Yes, that is true. But it is not that karma is higher than the Lord. Yes, everything happens as by, as per karma, one's karma, but at the same time, one can actually change the karma also by taking shelter of the Lord. Just a moment. Sorry, some signal thing. Yeah. So we see that, how the Lord, so all the scriptures gives us, the details, how the Lord is so merciful. Not only that, we see that how powerful the Lord's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Very, very powerful. So it is important for us to constantly keep in. When we read every day, we see that our faith develops. That's why Srila Prabhupada also always encouraged us that every day we should be reading the scriptures, at least for some time. So this has a great connection with our new year. The new year is, we are just 27 tomorrow, 28, 29, 30. We have just few days left. So everyone normally takes New Year resolutions, right? So one of the New Year resolution is to go back to the basics. Many times we add many new things. That's wonderful. But also it's very important to see that whether the basics are, getting done. And the basics are ABCD, we see that, are we taking regular association, A for association? If you're not taking association, if you're not part of any association, then it's important to see that we take association. And what is association means? It is not just being, it could be an online association or a physical association with devotees. But association means two things. Association means to hear and to serve. When we don't do these two things, then it is not called association. So hearing is also a very important element in association. When we go for a satsang or anything, we can say that as an association only when we have gone there and heard about the Lord. But when we just go there, but we have not heard anything about the Lord, or we have not done any service, then that is not called as association. So association means hearing and serving. So it's very, very nice. Good association helps us to go in the good direction. And we can also develop, those good qualities and then the real mood of service for the Lord. So association is very, very powerful. Good association helps in the good direction. Bad association leads us in a bad direction. So it's very powerful. So it's very nice to see that we are all part of association. We are keeping in touch with the devotees and hearing from them. That is very, very important. And B for books, every day to keep a moment. Many times we take resolutions, at least some of us, I hear that many people tell that we take resolution, but we fail in the resolution over a period of time. So in order to see that we are not failing in our resolution, we can, kind of focus on these few tips, especially this one thing. For example, every day I should read books. We may first initially put some, timeline, or a time, so every day I will read 1 hour or 45 minutes or 30 minutes. We may do for a few days, but then after that, something may come up and then it gets reduced, and then we may even fully give it up. In order to not fail in our resolution, one thing which we can do is that, yes, we may put a time, like maybe every day I will do 45 minutes, 30 minutes. That's very good. Say for a day, we can't do that. So what we should do is at least 5 minutes, we should do it. So then in that way, what happens? The continuity is not lost. It doesn't matter. Yes, I will do 30 minutes, but in case it is not happening, at least 30 minutes of at least some amount of time, I will do it on every day. So then what happens? We can keep a track and then, see that, that the habit is not lost. Otherwise, sometimes whatever the whole habit gets lost for a month or so, and then we get back, is very difficult. And reading is so powerful. That way, Srila Prabhupada was constantly emphasizing this reading is so important. Because by reading, we develop that knowledge, and that knowledge, ignorance is the cause of committing sins, or for all of us suffering, that is a cause. So, but when we hear more and more and more, we know that how we should behave ourselves, how we should think, how we should act, what we should do. We are constantly reminded. So then that will help us to keep in a streamlined. So that's why it's very important, the scriptures. It actually protects us from committing offenses, committing sins, by going in wrong direction. So it's like a protective layer just by reading. So powerful. The transcendental knowledge is so powerful. That's why Arjuna, when he received the transcendental knowledge from the Supreme Lord, the one who said that I will not do my duty, ended up, doing his duty. So it is so powerful. It transforms a person's heart. Even if someone is, thinking very low, or someone is, feeling depressed at some point of time, or frustrated. If you just take Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam and read even a page, that will definitely lift up. all the depression and stress at least will go for some time. That much power definitely the book has got, the potency. So it's a very, very powerful books. We cannot underestimate these books. So that's why it's very, very important we keep in association with scriptures also. That means scriptural association means this association means association with Krishna, because Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's words and the purports are given by Srila Prabhupada. That means we are keeping in association with a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. So definitely the association of the Supreme Lord, the association of the pure devotee will enliven us from all kind of anxieties and stress. A powerful way of overcoming stress. Reading scriptures or hearing, the lectures given by pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada's lectures, very, very powerful. You can try, and if anyone has not tried out, please try and see. It's guaranteed result. Immediately we feel lifted up. Those powerful words, that sound vibrations, just awakens us. Very, very powerful. And of course, C is chanting. It is our foundation. The chanting Hare Krishna mantra is a Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga. So it is so important that we all take up chanting. That's why there is a morning japa session is there. Devotees can join and chant anytime. And when we see other devotees are chanting, that gives a lot of inspiration. Now many kids are also joining. So it's so wonderful. Anytime we can join and leave. And morning, if we chant, we are fully packed, fully empowered, fully charged. Now we can face the whole world. Now we can face anything in this world, any problems, any issues, anything, that much of strength we get by chanting. I'll just read this one paragraph, very, very beautiful, spoken by Prabhupada's disciple, Satsvarupa Goswami Maharaj. Very beautiful. I'll just read this. Japa is the first thing I do in the morning, and it sets the tone for the day. It is when you are up early and you are not rushed. There should be time to chant the mantras in a meditative mood. Radha and Krishna are the focus of the yajna. Their names, forms, and pastimes should be the focus of the exercise. It is for their pleasure, and I am the servant of the names. Nama Prabhu is real Krishna, as good as his form in the spiritual world. Lord Chaitanya has emphasized, please listen to this very important point. Lord Chaitanya has emphasized that everything in spiritual life can be accomplished by good chanting. I will read again. Lord Chaitanya has emphasized that everything in spiritual life can be accomplished by good chanting. What is good chanting? Means a good meditative, attentive chanting, that we are able to pronounce Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Every syllable is, pronounced, nicely, and we are able to hear. Hearing is the most important thing. Attentively hearing in a very meditative mood, in a prayerful mood, and that good chanting, we can accomplish anything in this world, actually. We should be serious about the proposals in Shikshashtakam and chant with heart and soul. All our faculty should, pull to make a good sacrifice in chanting. Just to chant your vow of numerical strength is a great accomplishment, but you should strive to do much better. Overcome reluctance and make it the best part of your day. It is the most important thing. Dear Lord, please give me the inspiration to chant nicely with an unagitated mind. Sorry. And the simple practice in the morning is most precious and should never be neglected. The simple practice in the morning is most precious and should never be neglected. The day evolves around successful chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Very beautiful. He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, senior disciple. He says, a short poem he's written, chanting japa is a delight even in the lowest stages. You are with the Lord in sound vibration, and that is always good. You aspire for more and are disappointed, but you do not allow yourself to fall into depression. Krishna has packed so much potency in the syllables of the names that all his energies are there. It is true that Lord Chaitanya says, I am so unfortunate that I have no taste because I chant with offenses, and we have to live with the truth. But I am still cheerful that I accomplished my quota and I have got more to go to improve. So sweet. So when we hear more about the power of chanting, the potency of chanting, then our faith in chanting will improve. And then when we really do a good chanting in the morning, that actually brings everything to our doorstep. We do not have to go and seek for anything. Krishna arranges everything. I would say in all sense, depending on our faith, spiritual and even material too. So chanting is such a powerful element. It is coming, these names are not from this world. These names are coming from Goloka. Golokeda Premadana Hari Nama Sankirtana. So these names are coming straight from the spiritual world. That's why when we utter those names, we get spiritually, recharged. Very, very powerful. So let's all in this, new year, pray to the Lord. Just like Maharaj is actually praying that let's get inspired to chant the Lord's name in a very attentive, in a very meditative mood in the early morning hours. We will see that potency, very powerful, very powerful. Nothing can be compared to that holy name. That's what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Even in 14 worlds, we cannot compare anything with the holy name. So powerful is the holy name. So we should pray to the Lord, and the name of the Lord is non-different from the Lord himself. As we know, Draupadi called the Lord's name only, but the Lord came and saved her. The name only she called. The Lord was not around, but she called. Similarly, Gajendra called. You see, all the great personalities, they called. And then the Lord came, to help. So it is a powerful way. And we are also in this material world, all different kinds of challenges comes in our life. Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, Adidevik. Whom can we take shelter of? It is only the Lord we can take shelter of, especially in the form of his holy name. He will immediately respond. And 24/7 we can chant in the bed, whether we are clean, we are not clean, we are walking, we are sitting, we are sleeping. Anytime the Lord's name can be approached. How merciful is the Lord. That's why he's called Harinama Prabhu, because he's a personality. So C is for chanting. We can keep talking about the glories. And D is for the devotional service, Seva. Seva is something so wonderful and powerful, that is our connecting link with the Lord. Because in this world, we are serving so many people, our father, mother, children, brother, sister, community, office, our boss, who not, everyone we are serving. But how much are we really serving the Lord? What is his position? I mean, how much time we have allocating for him? So that is something to be, thought about, and see that how much we can actually serve him. So devotional service is very, very powerful. So in this New Year, it is very important. Srila Prabhupada always says that, yes, go high, but don't forget your basics. We have to go back to the basics. See that whether we do this 4 basics, being in good association, properly taking association. Even in association, many times we are in association, but we have our own ideas, we have our own desires. In association, we don't take association. In association, we feel lonely. That means we're not taking association. Something is wrong. Or even in association, we talk bad about somebody, or we find fault about someone. Then what happens when Krishna gives us everything, and when he sees that we are not valuing it, he will take it back. So we don't want to lose this association. This is one prayer we should always, put in front of the Lord. My dear Lord, please keep me always in the association of devotees, because without association of devotees, we are hopeless. We cannot. Even great personalities like Bharata Maharaj, he fell down when he was not in the association of devotees. Who are we? We stand nowhere. So our only protection is being in the association of devotees. We are so blessed that we are surrounded by so many devotees. That's a great protection. But we want to pray to the Lord that let me not make a mistake or commit an offense, and that I have to leave this association. So that is something we need to sincerely pray to the Lord, and we need to sincerely make an effort, that the Lord, if I have committed anything knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. And please give me the spiritual intelligence that I can act properly and I can serve the devotees properly. And I be grateful for all that association you have given me, and value each and every single devotee in my life. That I be respectful to each and every single devotee in my life. And I try to serve them so that we remain in association always. That's so important, because if we are out of association, it's like fish out of water. What will happen to that fish? No life. So that's what will happen to a person who is bereft of association. So it's important for us to ponder over all these things, to sit down for a moment and think, what are the things, in 2022 we could do right, and what are the things we could have improved, so that we put that one and see in 2023, how can I make my relationship with devotees better in 2023? How can I make my reading better in 2023? Not just reading, also distributing and chanting. How can I make my chanting better? And then how I can improve my service. These are all basic foundation. Without this foundation, we may do so many things, but if the foundation is not correct, it will fall apart. So these 4 things are so important, ABCD. So let's go back. We have a few more days so we can think and write down and put some resolution which are practical, and pray to the Lord. Tomorrow is a wonderful day. Please come to the Avanti school, take blessings of Lord Jagannath and pray to him, so that 2023 we all can sincerely serve him and sincerely, fulfill all our resolutions. And also there is a thanksgiving for all the devotees who have done a wonderful service for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So many categories for the marathon, Damodar month. We have many categories, and also devotees who have done service in the Soho temple, and covering the marathon service, and also kids and teens. And then so many acknowledgement are going to happen tomorrow. Whether anyone is acknowledging or not, Krishna is acknowledging. Someone may not acknowledge somebody, that's a different story, but the Lord is sitting in our heart and he's watching, he's witnessing every single thing. And our goal should be that he is pleased. And of course, I'd like to acknowledge all the wonderful devotees. So tomorrow, please come. Do not miss this important festival. It is a festival, of gratitude, a festival of love, and festival of being together with the devotees. It's amazing. So we request again everyone to come over there. And also one more thing before I close is that also there is a very for the new year we have planned something about the Chaitanya CC class, because it's been a long time we couldn't discuss exactly from the Madhya Leela. So we will continue that from Mahaprabhu's mercy. We will continue from where we left. And also for this 2022 we have seen that active participation, the circle who was actively participated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Guess who is that? Of course, many devotees are joining. Sometimes there are more, sometimes there is less, maybe because of various reasons. But we would acknowledge tomorrow in the event, but I will announce now. Everyone is coming and doing, but we'll announce that particular circle of devotees who are very active in the CC class. And that is Mathura Dham devotees. Hari Bol. So 3 big Hari Bols. Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
So we request all the devotees to actively participate. We are going to see every month active participation. We are going to have in every week, the CC class will be for, I normally go very long, but it's going to be now time bound. We have done almost everything planned. So it's going to be until 8:50. 8 to 8:50 will be the CC class. And then we will have 10 minutes, around 8:55, we will have a short quiz from that day session. We are going to note down the toppers. And after that, there will be announcements. So everything will get winded up by 9:15 max. So it will be very interesting. And we pray to the Lord to shower his mercy so we can do this service. We request everyone to come and hear about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. because that's Mahaprabhu's desire as well. And Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati told Srila Prabhupada, spread this message of Lord Chaitanya all over the world. That's the one word Srila Prabhupada took and came to the Western world. And Prabhupada also gave this instruction to all his disciples. So what we should be doing, we should be hearing about Lord Chaitanya's message. And we should encourage everyone to hear Lord Chaitanya's message. By doing that, we are pleasing Srila Prabhupada and the entire Acharya Parampara, the entire Guru Parampara. So by their mercy only, we can grow forward. So please attend the Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Inspire everyone to hear. Thank you so much. Vivek Prabhu, over to you. Is there any other announcements you would like to make?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes. So regarding the Jagannath anniversary, so as you mentioned, yes, tomorrow we have this anniversary, and we'd like to request all the members, ELB members, Gita Gyan members, please join. I know many of devotees has gone for holiday or India, but still whoever is available, please join us. This will be the this year's last joint celebration, and especially for Sri Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra Maharani. So please join. 5 p.m. onwards in Avanti school. And after that, as Mataji said, we have different little bit change in the weekly CC pattern where everyone can actively join, like Kahoot, Quiz and other things. And also we have 1st January, which is the first day of the next year. We got the Sunday feast rota from our Dham, ELBV, and we will go to cook the feast on Sunday in Soho Temple. So that is one announcement. And regarding the temple services, congratulations to all the big Haribol, to all the devotees who gone day and night for bathing tray and Prabhupada dressing throughout the month, and temple has appreciated it a lot. Jai Jagannath.
Jagannath is already ready, almost going to bed now. So that tomorrow, it's a big day for him. So, so I think the flyer has been, shared in all the groups, isn't it? 5 o'clock, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, okay. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Chakra ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gauri Nai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Premanande, Hari Hari.
Hari Bol.
Thank you all the devotees. Look forward to see you tomorrow. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thanks, Mataji, for wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hari Bol.